Welcome to the 26 Richard Show Health Talk. My name is Faith Zvorufura, and today we have two beautiful ladies from the Pink Foundation who have come to inform us and educate us on sexual reproductive health. Tatel and Larissa, welcome.
Hello, Faith.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Today, you guys have graced us, and you guys want to teach us and tell us more about sexual reproductive health. To start with, tell us more about the Pink Foundation. How did it start? Where did it emanate from exactly?
Okay, so the Pink Foundation generally started in Bindura, in Shashi to be precise. It was an idea that was started by two young women, More Blessings Majuta and Tatenda Chenuka, who is me. Unfortunately, More Blessings could not join us today. So it came about after we had noticed the challenges that young women face, especially when it comes to accessing information on sexual reproductive health rights, making correct decisions on their bodies, and all the challenges that they face, especially the economic challenges.
Okay, so you're basically just looking at women only?
Yes, women only.
Okay, so who is behind this? And maybe if you can tell us your positions, both of you, what you guys do there?
Okay, so basically we're all in the programs team. We don't have like a distinct structure since we're still starting. So we're both in the programs where we're still trying to find our feet, trying to come up with activities. And we are mostly trying to make these young women come up with their activities that they define, that they want to do, that they feel address the challenges that they face during the attainment facility.
Okay, so sexual reproductive health, that's like a broad term. Yes. What exactly on sexual reproductive health do you guys touch on?
Okay, I'll let Larissa answer that one.
Okay, so basically we're looking at STIs, sexually transmitted infections, and we're looking at HIV and AIDS, as well as condom use and abstinence.
Okay, so who are your main targets? You said it's women, but then, like with women, we have adolescents, we have teenagers, we have the youth, we have the middle age, and then we have those that are going into menopause.
Yes.
So are you looking at all of that?
No, not. We're targeting young women in tertiary institutions and then in high schools. So for the ones in tertiary institutions, we're not limiting to the age per se, but we're just encompassing them all into the whole idea of the Pink Foundation.
Okay, so why the young girls? Why tertiary and secondary school?
Okay, tertiary, first of all, because there is a myth that they know everything that there is to know about sexual reproduction, which is not always the case. Yeah. Because you find out that people go on Google and they look up information which may not be relevant actually, and they end up implementing it in their lives. So we're saying we want to open an avenue where we demystify some of these myths, where we address issues as they are. Hence, we are partnering with professionals in the health sector so that they come, they talk to these young women, they give them advice that has been tested and proven.
Okay, so what about the primary school kids? Right now, in as much as it sounds like they're just way too young, we have kids as young as 12 engaging in sexual activities. So have you thought about incorporating them in your program?
Yes, we have, but at a later stage since we are still starting, and we thought we target young women in tertiary institutions as a start, and then we take the idea outwards.
Okay. And also, can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
And also the reason why we are focused on that age, the 18 to 25, is because we are within that range. So we do know what's happening to them, because maybe we've gone through those things as well. So we just want to share our experiences and just make sure that they just get the protection, and then they can be able to stand for their sexual reproductive health rights.
Okay, so looking at young women in tertiary college right now, they have a whole lot of things that they do in college. How do you intend on getting their attention? How are you guys going to carry out your campaigns there?
Okay, first of all, we have made a plan where we go to orientation, we make ourselves known, and then we have activities that are specifically lined around their education, because first and foremost, the education is important, but then we also have to make a schedule that can work between their studies and also making time for the Pink Foundation.
Okay, so have you been to any tertiary institute?
We're starting in September with Bindura University.
Why Bindura University first?
It's our university.
Yeah, that's where we're coming from.
Okay, so what do you think are the challenges that women face mostly when
Well,
it comes to sexual reproductive health?
oh, okay. Mostly it's making uninformed decisions about sexual reproductive health. Most of them, they indulge in unsafe sex, and which then causes certain complications. At times, they get STIs, and they're not able to muster the courage to actually go and get help for that because of certain reasons. Some of them, which are those nasty stares, the service care providers, they just look at you with those eyes and
Judgmental
yes,
eyes.
exactly. So yeah, most of the people, well, like I've talked to a lot of people, so they just come to me and they're like, I can't go there because I'm just scared. They're just going to be looking at me like, okay, why are you sexually active? Yet,
I know.
well,
Yeah.
they feel it's there, right? But then, grown-ups, they feel that we should abstain and wait for the right time, which is marriage. But then, how it is, young people, they just cannot stick to the rules.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just one of them.
And probably adding to that, you find that when young women go to tertiary institutions, the myth is the money you get from your parents is supposed to last the whole semester. So you find that when the money doesn't last for the whole semester, you're going to improvise. You're going to try and
for
make
other means.
exactly, and you end up selling yourself. So we're trying to come in and bridge the gap so that people know what they're getting into, the implications of what they're getting into, and where to get help.
Okay, then. And the rural population, are you going to reach out to them, the young girls in the rural areas? In as much as you want to target tertiary institutions, we have young girls in the rural areas who are not even going to school, who are very much prone to child marriages as well. Are you guys looking into that?
Yes, definitely. We thought about it and we realized that majority of these girls, they're not as privileged as us, like the girls who stay in the urban areas when it comes to sexual reproductive health. So you find out that most of them, they fall pregnant between the ages of 14 and 24. So they do need that knowledge. They do need that knowledge to know that they're supposed to practice safe sex if they decide to become sexually active, and also to know that there are STIs out there and there's HIV, and they've got rights. They've got the right to say no when they do not want.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about the apostolic sects? We have like those girls who were married off at a very young age, or who are like in the polygamous marriages.
Yes, yes.
Are you looking at those young girls as well?
We feel
That's a tough one, though.
exactly. But from a personal point of view, I think every female, no matter which religious sect you belong to, you still have the right to say no. No one has the right to determine who you get married to when. You have the right to decide for your own body. People have to respect those rights, no matter which church you're going to, no matter which religion you believe in. So, yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
So despite their religion and despite their values and norms, I just think if we're to just pass on the information, at least they know. After we pass it, they know. So it's their decision to run with it or just drop it.
Okay, so since you're saying you want to reach out to them, looking specifically at the apostolic sects, how do you intend on doing that?
I think mainly we have to work around getting buy-in from the leaders of the sect, of the apostolic sects, because if you don't get buy-in, then they're not going to let you into their area. So it's about working with them first, conscientizing them first, so that they know that these young girls also have a future. They need to grow, discover themselves. Marriage is not everything. There's still a lot a young girl can do.
Definitely.
So do you have other organizations you're working with?
Not at the moment, but we're looking to partner with other organizations that are already taking part in sexual reproductive health.
Okay, and your first, should I say, a campaign And Bindura, what exactly are you guys going to be doing?
Okay, we're going to be, first of all, establishing the club, letting people know who we are, what we're all about, what our story is. And then second of all, we have like major activities that we as the organization have planned, which include My Body Talks, where we're getting professionals to talk about the female body, the female reproductive health system. And then we've got what are called My Space Talks, where we're getting these young girls to converge at one place, talk about their issues, talk about why they're still having unprotected sex, even though they know they are risking getting HIV, even though they know they're risking getting an STI. And then we've got Meet Your Sheroes, where we're taking women that have made it in the society, because we feel that sometimes young girls make decisions not based on the fact that they have a full understanding of what they're doing, but they also lack a role model. So we want to bridge that gap where, you know, when you have someone you look up to, you emanate to be like that person, and that should be motivation enough for them to say no to harmful health-seeking behaviors.
Okay, so thank you to Tenda and Larissa for coming.
Thank you for having us.
And we will definitely try and promote Pink Foundation. And this is it from the Health Talk on 26 We Chat. My name is Faith Zvorufura. 26 We Chat Health Talk Show. I'm your host, Faith Zvorufura, and today we have two ladies from Pink Foundation, Tatenda and Larissa, who have come to inform us and teach us more on sexual reproductive health. So, Tatenda and Larissa, Pink Foundation, why pink?
Okay, so when we came up with the name Pink Foundation, we wanted a name that would just scream femininity without having to look for a definition. And usually you find that when someone is having a child, if it's a girl, they buy pink. If it's a boy, it's more of the blues. So hence the term Pink Foundation.
Pink is just for girls.
Yes, pink is for girls.
Okay, so we have certain areas in the country that have like a very high prevalence rate of HIV. Areas like Bindura, Shishabane, Blawayo, segregated universities like Lupane State University. So are you guys really looking into reaching out to those places?
Definitely, we are, especially Lupane and GZ, Great Zimbabwe, sorry.
Okay, so you guys will be going there, or
Yes.
you have certain ways of reaching out to these people?
We have friends that are there, so we're still in dialogue about establishing a pilot club there that there will be. Yes.
Okay, so you want to have like clubs in institutions
Yes.
about Pink Foundation?
Yes.
Okay, so as students, I think you mentioned before that you guys are students as well. I was a student once as well at a college. What have you guys seen happening? What happens at college? What happens to these young girls?
A lot of things happen.
Details.
Yeah, nowadays, Tanya Mablesa and, well, in Bindura, they called an Odum Flaka. So,
Or Uncle Bay.
yes, yes. So we do have them, and they're helping some of us, you know, financially. In return, we give them
Sexual
sexual favors. Yes, and so right out very vulnerable to HIV because most of them, they don't like using condoms. They want to practice unsafe sex, and because generally women we can't negotiate for safer sex, then it just happens. So there's nothing that one can do about it. So you find out that most people, they fall pregnant now, and so abortions akawanda, and people getting into my early marriages, people becoming single mothers, but asina that financial assistant because most of them, they're married.
Most of the places, right?
Yes, they are married. So you find out and you're just left out in the cold. You can't go anywhere. Probably your parents and the blesser is no longer your blesser. Then there are the situations whereby the blesser says it's fine, you can have my baby. So that means you have to get an apartment and then stay there with your baby. But it's more like watongo sexual object. Because you're not doing anything with your life. You're just there. They don't want you to grow and do something for yourself.
Yeah.
They just want you to remain stagnant so that when they feel like they just want to hang out with you, they can just come and do it. Iwewe now, you can't grow because
You become their puppet.
Exactly. Asikukupa that space yekuthi uite breathe.
So, what is the problem here? Because you're saying that girls in college, obviously you have a parent or a guardian that's taking care of you, sending you money and stuff.
To be quite honest, with the economic situation in Zimbabwe, the money you get from your parents is not enough. It will never be enough.
At times, I guess.
At times. It's not always the case.
Yeah, it's not enough. So you find Kuti, people end up trying to improvise. They're now trying to bridge that gap. Okay, so I got probably rent money and probably $15 the groceries, and you have transport allowances that you need to take care of. Saka, taking for instance Bindura being a mining town, which on you find out that they are gold buyers, gold panners, flashing out money, and with the economic situation now girls fall prey to these people.
Yeah, they want more.
Exactly. And for some girls as well, it's an issue with what they have.
Exactly.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
You see, it's not always the case. Could these girls that have blessers are girls that come from a disadvantaged family? There are some girls who come from a well-up family who still go for these blessers.
Yeah.
What are you guys going to do about that? How do you intend on talking to these girls who already have enough but feel like they want more?
That's when we're talking about self-development. Meet Yoshiro. You have a mentor, have someone who's going to guide you, someone who's going to help you grow. Because some of these girls just lack mentorship. That's all they lack. They just need mentorship and being steered in the right direction, and then we have great results.
Yeah, and peer pressure is why I guess it also goes down to, who you're friends with at times. Because vangwana that strong will to say no to certain things. They just see someone doing something and they're like, okay, let me do it as well. And then they just do it.
It looks like fun.
Yes.
Exactly.
Getting more money.
Yes.
So I guess Isusuka, our role, one of the roles is just to guide them. Just tell them, you know what, guys, we've been there. We know people who've been destroyed by these things.
Exactly.
So you can't let someone else's decisions be your decisions. You have to make your own. Be an individual.
Exactly.
Do not be in a crowd.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we also have this issue of first years. It's their first time in college,
Yeah.
probably first time out of town, first time staying alone. You're naive, you don't know anything. The
Yeah.
gold rush.
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
all these men preying on them.
Yeah.
You guys, are you going to then have like not a one-on-one talk as such, but in as much as you want to look at all the girls in college, will you have like a certain time for maybe just the first years only?
Yes. We're actually planning on visiting Bindra University at orientation so that we get to talk to these first years before
it starts happening.
Exactly, before they get integrated into the system.
Yeah, because we believe that such information coming from us, the young people, it has so much impact.
Yeah.
And like if it's coming from someone who's much older, it's just, people have that mentality of but if it comes from... Exactly. But if it comes from us, then they probably have a chance of saying, you know what, yeah, they've been there, so they know better.
Okay. And we also, these problems really aren't like being brought by people from outside colleges. We have boys within the school as well. So now you find these girls are engaging in sexual relations with these blessers, a much older man, and then with the young boy at school.
Yes.
What are you guys doing about that?
Mainly, we're still targeting the girls. We want to bring the girls to light first. And then with time, we would also want to incorporate the boys so that they get to... Because boys have also that belief that they know everything, but in some instances, they do not know everything. So we're trying to first deal with the girls and then bring the boys on board and give out information to both sexes.
Okay. And then on facilities present on campus, what facilities are there on like tertiary institutions in terms of sexual reproductive health? Because we really cannot deny that these kids are sexually active.
Yes.
So what is there on campus to help these kids maybe curb this STI, HIV thing going on? You said you're at Bindura University. Are there any facilities there?
Yes, we do have a university clinic. if something happens to you, feel like you're not well, you just go to the clinic. We've got medical aid, and we also have Say What is there. They offer sexual reproductive health services as well. And they also condoms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Distributed.
They're distributed.
At the clinic or?
Yes, at the clinic as well as the residents.
The residents.
Yes.
Residents, yeah.
Okay, how efficient is the clinic though? Like, is it like friendly? Because it's young girls. You can imagine, like we talked about, like being judged before, about an STI, and you want to go there. Are the nurses there friendly? Because you know sometimes there are those situations where someone becomes afraid to go because they will be judged. How is it there?
I wouldn't say they judge per se, but age group, Yema nurses that are there are more of like our mothers. So naturally, uchatongonyara we go, should I go? No. So I think maybe if they could bring in people who are a bit younger who we can relate to, it makes conversation and dialogue easier.
Yeah, but generally it's fine.
Yeah, they're okay.
It's good.
Okay, sorry to take you back, but you mentioned something to do with abortions before.
Okay.
How prevalent are they in colleges? Are they safe? How are girls doing it?
I wouldn't know how they're doing it per se, but you would get reports on someone died, they died trying to abort.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, okay, so we're in a society where we try to live as if some of these things don't happen, but they are happening. Same as young girls are engaging in sexual activities with men older than probably their fathers. And and then we try to look away as if it's not happening. So the Pink Foundation is trying to come in and bridge that gap and try to make the society understand that some of these things are happening and we need to help our girls, because looking aside is not going to help.
Okay. Moving on, any statistics on the HIV? Like, isn't you looking at the knowledge? You're saying most people think they know about HIV, but they don't. So what percentage is there, like, of the number of people that do not know about HIV at all, that think they know a lot?
Okay, there's a Zim Stats survey that was done in 2014 that said for men and women aged 15 to 49, 96% of them displayed knowledge of having heard about HIV and AIDS, but about 62% did not have the full knowledge about HIV and AIDS, which is a huge number in percentage, because now we're thinking, okay, so of these 62%, how many of them are taking part in unsafe sexual behavior?
Okay.
And how many are women?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so we spoke about the facilities in colleges. What do you guys, as Pink Foundation, think should be added? What do you think is missing?
For me, I think it's the issue of space. We don't have that space to engage as girls, sit down over maybe popcorn, talk in depth about reality. We don't have that space because it's school and activities, and then more school. So there's need for that space for girls to come together and talk about real life, real issues. Why are you seeing this man? It's because of A, B, C, D. What can we do to, deal with that challenge?
Okay, so since you're saying, like, in college, most of these girls have a lot of things that they have to do. So I can imagine if I was in college, personally, could say, there's this Pink Foundation going on. People really will be reluctant to go. So what ways are you guys using to at least attract these girls to come, to be willing to attend these things?
We're thinking of creating a youth hub, like a girls' youth hub, where there's information about sexual reproductive health, and also where there can be an open dialogue between different girls coming from different dimensions. So that's able to help people to actually open up. So maybe on days like World AIDS Day, we just have sort of like a small function, and then people come and they talk.
Okay, so you're looking into having like people who have experienced this, who have first-hand experience,
Yes.
and then they'll talk to these girls.
Yes.
All right, Tatienda and Larissa, thank you for coming to our Health Talk show and informing us on what it is that you guys are doing, on what Pink Foundation is, and hoping that you guys, everything will be successful with your first campaign at Bindura University in September.
Yes,
This
thank
is
you
it
very
from
much.
the 263 Chat Health Talk show. My name is Faith Zvorufura.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.